Hi there everybody and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Pierre Paulin brand's jumping hour watch, which is this beauty right here. As you can see there, you've got that beautiful salmon dial. But it was a watch that I found really quite unique, and I don't know about you guys, but when I first sort of saw it, I was like, what the hell is a jumping hour hand watch? Essentially, it is a watch that does not have an hour hand, it has an hour window. It has no date on the dial at all. You have a small running seconds at the 6 o'clock position, and I suppose a minute hand that goes around the dial, and once every 60 minutes, that date window or hour window changes to reflect the time, which is rather unique. Anyway, I'm going to show you some footage. I've got some beautiful macro footage that I've shot for you, and like I say, we can take a look at the watch in greater detail. Before we do that though, if you do like the content, please do consider subscribing. It takes a second and it really helps us out as a channel. Anyway, with that being said, let's turn the camera around. We're going to take a look at the Pierre Paulin jumping hour watch in further detail. Okay guys, so first things first, Merkur Watch Group did actually send me this Pierre Paulin, so I don't have to send it back, but that doesn't impact or make any difference to my thoughts on the watch. I have put links in the description though if you do want to go and get the watch, so I got it from merkurwatch.com. There are two versions of this particular watch, so you can get it in the automatic, which sits at $169 US. If you use that code MERKURWATCH083, then it does reduce it down to $149. Alternatively, if you do want something a little bit cheaper but you still want the same kind of watch, they do have a manual wind version which is $131, and that obviously reduces down by the same amount, 20 bucks using the same code, down to 111 US. So guys, if you do want to get the watch, then there are the discount codes. In terms of dimensions for the watch, you're looking at a 39mm diameter or 41.4 mils if you include that crown. In terms of top to bottom lug, you're looking at 46.6 mils. And the watch has a thickness of 13.5 mils. Strap size for this watch, much the same as many watches that you're going to find on AliExpress, is sitting at 20 mils. So here's some on the wrist footage for you. One thing to mention was that when I was editing this video, I did notice that the website does state 38 mils as the dimensions, or the diameter, sorry, of the case. When I measured it with my digital calipers, it does come in at 39 mils. See, at 38, 39, it's a very small difference, but it is just one thing that I wanted to point out. Either way though, it is a dress watch, so it is going to look and wear a little bit smaller than the typical sports watch that I wear, and I'm totally fine with that. I think it's quite understated, but there's no denying that salmon dial and those blued hands are absolutely stunning. So onto the case and crystal, you can see you do have a brushed or a satin type finish across the entire case. I am not too bothered about that. I think it's supposed to be a vintage style watch, and a high polish for me would probably not be appropriate. In saying that, that satin finish is really well executed, and you can see you do have a nice signed crown there, although that does look a little bit too modern for this vintage style watch. I would have much preferred to have seen similar sort of font as to what's shown on the dial there, you know, like a PP or something like that. You do have drilled lugs, which probably a bit of a negative if I'm going to be honest. I don't think you really need drilled lugs on a dress watch. Case back there, you can see you do have the lion, and it states it is Merkur Watch Group. Again, small negative here, but it would have been nice to have seen the Pierre Paulin branding on there as opposed to the Merkur Watch Group, which is obviously the parent company. But again, it's only a small negative, but need to mention it. So onto the strap. Now you do have a unsigned buckle there. It is finished in the same manner as the case, so I suppose that is a positive, but I would have liked to have seen a PP or something like that on the buckle signed. The strap itself is actually quite supple. It came out of the packaging really quite soft. I was very impressed with that, and it does have this nice sort of grey cross stitch effect to it. One thing to mention is both of the straps on either side do come with that quick release functionality, which is really useful. But again, going back to the case with those drilled lugs, you know, I can't help but mention it. There was no need to put drilled lugs in there, but that's a minor niggle from my side of things. You can see there you do have that quick release pin again, so you can swap out the strap as you see fit very, very easily. Now I don't have any other 20mm dress style straps available, so I'm a bit disappointed that I couldn't show you this on a variety of different colourways and mix up the look, so to speak. But I suppose that is an excuse to go and buy some more straps. Anyway, say the strap on this occasion, this grey one, is very nice. Okay guys, so on to the most exciting part for me, and that's the macro footage here. So I did want to get some close-up footage showing the jumping hour as it happens, and so there you go. The switchover is very quick, as would be expected with a jumping hour hand movement. Both the minute and the seconds hands have got this nice blued effect to them, and I did see that the printing on that date window was very, very good. Overall, the dial, I was really impressed with it. Again, this is super high resolution macro footage, so it's going to show up any imperfections, and I'm pleased to say that you really can't see anything on that dial that would be out of the ordinary on something that's over $1,000 in my opinion. The printing was very nice, the application of the hands and the colouring was very good, and that guilloche sort of effect, albeit not done by hand, is very good. Like I say, really sharp printing. You can see there Pierre Paulin and that nice retro or vintage style writing to signify it's an automatic version. One thing to mention though is the Pierre Paulin brand. I think that's probably one of the better names that you can actually find through these Chinese watch brands. It's quite nice, and yeah, just certainly better than some that are out there. Onto the movement now. I am sorry guys, I had some footage and it got deleted. I don't know what happened, but I've got some stock imagery, but I can confirm that is exactly what the movement looks like inside this watch. It is the Seagull ST17, so not manufactured by Merkur Group, but it is well known, in fact probably the most well known Chinese watch manufacturer for movements outside or known outside in the Western world. Very accurate movement, runs at 21,600 BPH, and like I say, very, very nicely finished. The watch does actually come with this manual wind version, and I must say, based on that rendering image there, I think I actually prefer it. It looks very nice indeed. But like I say, the watch does come with automatic or manual wind, obviously manual wind being a little bit cheaper. So, final thoughts guys. I said this in my last video, which was another dress watch. I'm not a big dress watch guy. I don't have that many formal functions where a dress watch would be required, and certainly my sort of lifestyle sits more at the sports watch or something that fits both sort of sides of the equation, so to speak. But this is a really unique watch. I hadn't seen a jumping hour hands watch or jumping hours watch before. I think they're quite unique. I admit, you know, I'm a little bit, well, I think it's difficult to read, if I'm going to be honest. The date window, it looks quite large here on the footage, but it isn't that big. So it is probably more of a novelty having this watch. It's a nice thing to have on your wrist. It's certainly a good talking point, and the quality far outweighs the cost. Again, you go for the manual wind version at $111 US, you absolutely can't beat it. So overall I think it's a really nice watch. It is a novelty, somewhat hard to read, but overall the finishing is absolutely fantastic. So guys, that's my review. Thank you ever so much for your time. If you do enjoy the videos, please do consider subscribing. Other than that, I'll leave you be to enjoy the rest of your weekend. Cheers guys.